Welcome to 360 Degree Machinery. We're going to do a walkthrough of an Oliver 12 CD 24-inch joiner. If you have questions about pricing or availability, please go to 360degreemachinery.com. Also remember that all of our machines are located right here in Naperville, Illinois, and that we do not broker tools to ensure quality. We are also processing anywhere from 40 to 50 additional machines, so check back often, as we do not list machines until they have been thoroughly cleaned and checked. This is an Oliver 12 CD 24-inch joiner. It's a little bit of a rarer version than the average Oliver that you see out there. So just stay tuned for a couple minutes and we'll explain why. First of all, you're going to see this nice X-bar across. That's a 1-inch plate by 100-inch long straight edge. That's our straight edge to measure tables. It's basically laser tested to better than 0.03 of an inch over the 100-inch length. And as you can see, that means that this joiner is over 100 inches long. The full width with both beds is 106¼ inches as it is currently set up. We did test diagonals left to right. It wouldn't be feasible for the video, but we do have the straight edge and we're just going to kind of walk with it and just show you. As you can see, there's no gaps. Even the throat plates there are nice and level. It's just going to take a minute to lift this off with someone else because it's quite heavy, but well worth it. The next thing you're going to notice is sometimes people are going to look at this, or someone I know is going to shoot me an email and say, those tables are all dinged up. These are actually hand-scraped tables. What we believe happened is this obviously was a pattern shop machine, and they were not happy with the grind, and so they hand-scraped the machine tables. And they still do this. I know our vertical machining center has hand-scraped tables. It's quite the art form. Just go onto onto YouTube and type in hand scrapes and metal, and you will see the process in its entirety. And it is a really interesting process, finding the high spots in hand, planing them down. And as you can see, the last thing I'm going to show you is it is diagonal to the feed surface. They always go on diagonals, and that's how you can tell they're not hammer prints, because you actually come in across your feed surface. And again, this was done a long time ago. You could tell by the wear pattern on the beds. And what's interesting is if we take our indicator, this is not going to measure flatness. This is going to measure the texture, because obviously there's always a texture or tooling mark when you flatten down. And you're going to see that there's less than 0.005, which is 1/4 of a human hair difference on that grind, which is actually pretty amazing to think about. Now again, normally on an Oliver, on the infeed, you're going to see a hand wheel to raise and lower the table. And on the outfeed, you're going to see a hand wheel. You do see an hand wheel on the outfeed, and this adjusts the height of your outfeed. However, you're probably noticing there's 3 hand wheels. This one here is going to be used to adjust this table up and down. This is your bronze cursor, and that is going to indicate what height you are at. The first wheel you see here is going to allow you to actually move the table in and out. And normally there would be a cursor here, but this cursor is missing. This is the interesting hand wheel. This hand wheel is part of a device that Oliver calls the table tilting device. And basically this whole infeed table tilts up to 7 degrees sideways. Yes, if you're watching my hand, sideways, to obtain a draft. Everything is free and working. I'm just holding a camera, and it's a little bit difficult to do while holding a camera. Another interesting feature is that this hand wheel just pops right off to get out of your way. Obviously, it's just designed that way. All of these actually have keyways, and this one here does not. Probably to give you more knee space. It does feature a 3-knife, 5-inch diameter cutter head. You do have a working brake. As you can see, there's plenty of meat on that brake. These handbrakes do work, but obviously if you look, they're really short throw, so when you pull up, you don't have a lot of leverage. They will slow it more than just waiting for it to come to complete stop without a brake, but they're not fast stops either. Below that, as you pull this, you can hear that clicking noise. There is a kill switch. It does have your original table lock handles. All 4 of them are present. The blade guard spring does function. We just have it disconnected so we could swing it out of the way for the video, but it is in there and we promise that is working. Now, what's interesting about this machine is that you're probably noticing that the tables are not a 50-50 split. Normally it's a basically 48-inch in-feed, 48-inch out-feed. Your in-feed table on this particular version is 64 3/8 by 26 inches. The out-feed is 39 1/4 by 25. Total length, as you see it right now, and obviously the tables are split apart a little bit, so it is unfair, but right now it's 106 1/4. And again, you can move this table via this hand wheel in and out quite a bit. I believe it's 3 or 4 inches. So you can decrease this gap for safety as well. Newer electricals, that's nice to see. Another unique feature is the fence. This isn't the average fence. A lot of times there's a set of holes drilled, and a set of holes drilled, a set of holes drilled, and you move the whole fence forward over 4 or 6 different sets of holes to move the fence forward. This one only has 2. You have your rear and your front. Both are on this outboard support, which is a large outboard support. Part of the reason they were able to do this is because the motor is no longer centered, it's further back, so they're able to actually put this in this position. And again, that is a huge outboard support. It's not the little standard one that you normally see. If you loosen this, you can move the fence forward on itself. There is, if you take a look, you can see there's a track here. So this moves forward and back. And what's interesting about this one too is if you unlock this, it's not a manual tilt fence. You simply come in and this is going to actually tilt your fence. There's no motor tag, but we believe that this motor is the 5 horsepower motor. We know it is 230 volts. And last but not least, you do have the original grinding bar. The pins do match what you see in the table. So it is the original grinding bar. There is no motor, however, that is a lot easier to find and actually pretty easy to find. The hard part to find is your joining attachment, and this bar is just a very, very hard to find item. The only repair we find on the whole machine, besides that small missing cursor that we talked about earlier in the video, is this handle at one point right here. As you can see, there is a repair there. It is the only repair we can find on this whole machine. And finally, we are going to start it. And again, this brake, obviously you can tell it is stopping it, but it is not an instant stop, and you have to pull rather hard due to the short throw. There's just not a lot of leverage point between here and here. Again, a really rare machine with a grinding bar. Some very unique features. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach us at info@360degreemachinery.com, or you can give us a call at 630-229-6705. Again, thank you for tuning in to 360 Degree, helping you buy with confidence.